What's up? This is Joshua LeMay.
I'm Sammy Bowler.
I'm Sam Collins.
I'm John Dudley.
And we are Citizen Zero, sitting down with Rob on Front Row Live.
You guys have been on tour with a lot of big names, Kid Rock being one of them, Papa Roach being another. What makes the tour that you guys are on right now with VAMPS so different from any other tour that you guys have done?
Oh, man. I think out of everybody, VAMPS have the craziest fan following I've ever seen in my life.
It's
unbelievable.
wild.
Yeah.
Really wild.
Never seen anything like it.
People are literally camped out for like 24 hours at the venue, and like it's I don't know, it's just like we've never had like such an engaged audience before. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
If we tag them in anything on Twitter or anything like that, like within like a second, they all just like it just spreads everywhere.
VAMPS have the epitome of super fans, like absolutely.
So with that being said, that they have that kind of fan base, was it easier for you guys to come out on stage and perform and gain that fan base, or was it a little harder for you guys?
It's just like they were so welcoming. Like last night, Josh literally went up to the mic and just said "Vamps," and the whole place like erupted. Like it's unbelievable, man.
That's crazy. So 2 days in already on the tour, what have you guys picked up from this band? VAMPS.
As far as
the way they tour, the way they handle their crowd.
They can say one word, and I swear to God, we're touring with like the Japanese Beatles.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's just I've never seen anything like it. So I mean, we did like the kind of first day San Francisco was a little crazy, like a little hectic, things moving kind of quick. So we didn't get too much of a chance to kind of hang, and then yesterday we really got a chance to kind of talk to them, and we speak no Japanese. They speak English, but it's not like fluent. So we have one of their guys kind of is like the go-between. So it was just that was our first experience with that, and that was kind of cool. And but I mean, yeah, they're poised dudes, and they got some pretty badass tattoos as well, which is pretty sweet.
Well, you can tell that they know what they're doing, and they've done this before on an even more massive scale overseas. So it's like, for them it's
I think
just
they
work,
said last show they played in Japan was for like 70,000. Yeah, that's mind-blowing.
Now what about for you guys, because you guys have done some arenas and you guys have done smaller shows as well, right? So does that really change at all as far as the kind of set that you guys are going to perform?
Yeah, I think it definitely does.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, playing to when you're on a bigger stage, I mean, the way you interact with each other and all that changes. But as far as the music, no, we stick to what we do. It doesn't matter. But it's cool because we trying to get the best of both worlds right now. We get to play the bigger venues, and we love the intimate shows as well.
Now you guys have been for a couple of months now. You guys have been under the Wind Up Records roster. What does that mean to you guys? Like, how different is the tour life now that you guys have that kind of backup?
Yeah, I mean, before, I guess nobody really gets to see how the machine works behind the scenes. So we now do, and Wind Up has treated us great. And I mean, it's just all of a sudden now you got this team behind you that just all they want to do is push, which is great.
A lot of times we've been on the road and doing interviews and doing like radio performances, and like I kind of have to stop all the time and be like, guys, we're a real band. Like
we showed up. This is how you're like a real band. We showed up. We got a little torn up last night in L.A. as we normally do when we're in L.A. And woke up in our hotel, which we're staying at this kind of hotel we really don't really have any business being at, and we wake up and go into the lobby to eat breakfast. He's got no shoes on. His hair's messed up. I'm in the same clothes that I wore last night, and I'm just devastated. I don't even know. I didn't even see you, but like it's Tuesday. You know what I mean? And that's just up till this point hasn't really been normal life on a Tuesday. So, but
maybe not for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's kind of changed.
Yeah. Let's jump into that debut album that you guys recently dropped as well, State of Mind. Take me into the studio. Take me into the production of it. What was that like for you guys, especially because you guys have had experience prior to this record, being in the studio and recording and writing. So how different was it this time around?
This record, it was recorded over such a long period of time that, I mean, really from song to song, it's like a snapshot of where we were, It was not easy. I mean, I guess that's like probably the nicest way to put it. It was not easy to finish. It wasn't easy to record, but I think, yeah. But I think there's a reason it sounds the way it does, and since it was recorded that way, I think it really affected the way it turned out.
The fact that you guys had so much time to record the album, how many times did you guys maybe reconstruct the songs that are in there?
We've got demos of like 4 or 5 demos of each. Not every song, but a couple songs. There's like 4 or 5 different versions, and actually, it's kind of like you just kind of take like your favorite part of every one, and that's kind of how the song ends up, on the album. So,
yeah, I'm interested to see like I think like for me from like the transitional period now is like you kind of took a long period of time and took snapshots, and that's how lyrically songs came out to tell stories about this chaotic period of time where we recorded this uphill battle, and now it's like a different kind of it's like a different kind of like perception, like I guess. So going forward, I'm really actually kind of interested to see how that changes. Right. I mean, yeah, we're excited for it actually. So.
Now, as far as working with a producer, did you guys work with anyone in specific, or did you guys keep it to yourselves as far as the production goes?
We worked with our buddy Steve Lahane in Detroit, and really most of it was just us sitting in a room with them and going through song by song and kind of figuring out what worked and what didn't work. Tons of drinking, tons of coffee, late nights, early mornings, kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm really grateful that it was recorded that way, because now I realize like so many of our friends and bands we've toured with, it's like, all right, you have 2 weeks to go in and finish.
Yeah, and it could be so much work. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get that way, I mean, it's not easy the other way too, because you got to be patient and whatnot.
But overthinking it.
But yeah, it worked out exactly the way it should have.
It's kind of a daunting fact thinking about album number 2 and like having to be so prepared. So I think we're gonna have some downtime here in the next month, and we're gonna try to just like get everything as polished as we can, like new track wise, just to kind of like get over the hump,
Right. Now, as far as the tracks that are on the record, what is it that made these tracks a part of the record? I'm sure you guys recorded a ton of songs prior to that.
Yeah, there was actually like a lot of tracks that had a different feel than like what the album actually is, and those actually we kind of wanted to go that direction, and then like once we sat down and listened to everything in demo form, we just kind of realized that like those didn't fit. So we pretty much just like literally listened to all the demos and just decided what would make the best album, like what was cohesive and worked well, and that's what came out on State of Mind.
Now, it seems like you guys have actually been on tour like for the better part of this year, and if not a little bit of last year as well. So what was the writing process like? Is this something you guys were writing while you guys were on the road, or did you guys actually sit down and just focus on the writing?
Yeah, this was 100% nothing but sitting and just writing this record. I mean, it was, to be honest, the first song of this record was written, the very first single off this record, Go, was written in 2013. It was the very first song we ever wrote with Sammy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, we were sitting on some of these songs for years, and kind of like going back to what we were saying about like the process of kind of collecting what songs made sense. It was having the record called State of Mind. First that song didn't even like exist. It was called Make Believe. So the title track was actually called Make Believe, and we sat down with our buddy of ours who actually does all the artwork for the thing, and kind of coming up with concepts and how we want the visual to kind of look on the record, and we came up with this idea of this head, and it was filled with all these chaotic things from a person holding a watch and then a snake biting the person's hand because of time.
This is all you guys came up with this?
We did. We just sat down and started just coming up with all these crazy concepts, and it was between him saying, well, the record should really be called State of Mind, and then all of a sudden it clicked, and everybody was like, well, this song's got to go on it, this song's got to go on it, this song's got to go on it. So I mean, it was like that moment that everything became really kind of clear and clicked. So yeah, but again, going back, it was like probably like a 2-year period of just sitting, waiting through some shit.
That's a long time. You did mention that was the first song you wrote with Sammy back in 2013. So how different is the writing now? Like, how do you guys feel about the way you guys write today?
I mean, I'd say it's just like anything. I mean, it's always going to like evolve.
Yeah. Right. What's so cool is, I mean, we all play a big part in writing the music, you know, and once you've written so many songs together and you're comfortable with each other, you know, on a really deep level, I mean, I think it's gotten easier and easier, you know, but now it's like we work so well with each other, like.
No one really second guesses, like, each other, you know, everyone, like, respects each other enough to know that, like, if you have an idea, like, it should be heard or listened to, you know, at least tried, you know.
So the thought of a second album is not even anything scary. It's like you guys are ready.
I'm super excited, you know. It's like one album being put out is crazy. The thought of a second is really cool to me, you know. I'm just really excited to like see what it sounds like. You know, that's not something you really plan for, you know.
What has been the most exciting part about this album for you, Sam?
I don't know. Just seeing people react to it has kind of been the coolest thing for us, I think, at least for this first album. Just being able to actually go out on the road with it and meet people who have heard the song on the radio and then found the album and listen to the whole thing and know the words. Like things like that are just kind of mind-blowing to be able to see the reaction from people to the album. So yeah, it's just exciting, and it keeps growing every day that we play. So that's cool. Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that you can actually find covers online. Like people are doing covers of your songs, and that's
like the most mind-blowing thing. A girl did a drum cover ago, and I think we were playing in like Ohio. Yeah, and I saw that and was just like, that was like the most mind-blowing thing to me ever. That like someone took the time to like put like it was wild.
Yeah, I didn't think it took like it was this quick for people to like start doing stuff with like new artists.
Really
There's
cool,
like 2 covers out there that I'm kind of jealous of, to be honest. Fuck, why didn't we think of that?
You guys just kicked off the tour 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So what's next after this tour? I know this one's a smaller tour compared to the other ones you guys have done, right?
Yeah, so
Lengthwise, not
lengthwise, yeah, lengthwise. This is pretty short. Actually, the next one's pretty short too. We got like I think 6 or 8 dates with Scott Stapp from Creed.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's East Coast though, right?
That's all East Coast. Yeah, there was one down south, but we ended up getting rid of that one. And then right after that, we jump on with Pop Evil for the entire month of December, all the way till Christmas.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm assuming you guys are sitting down working on that new album.
We're in the studio in all of January. Yeah, we're just gonna live and just sit there.
Which is crazy to think about because our album came out in August, and we're already like back in the studio writing. But like, it's.
But I get it. I mean, you mentioned it's been there for a while. Yeah.
And there's not a lot of downtime when you're on the road. Like you can record demos and stuff, maybe on your phone or maybe to Logic or something. But that's not sitting down in a room and like really, you know, getting down to it and like. So yeah. We're excited for that. Have a little bit of time.
Now, for those that don't know anything about Citizen Zero, why should they go ahead and check you guys out, and why should they pick up the debut album?
Oh man, I'm not taking that.
I know.
It's great.
I just wanted him to panic. You know, we grew up with kind of this, you know, all of us third generation music in our families, and you know, this has kind of been our lifestyle since we were. I mean, I think I've started. You played drums at 5.
Yeah.
I played drums first when I was around the same age, and then, you know, Sammy, since he could speak, was playing guitar, and Sam playing bass. So, I mean, you know, it's we kind of lived and breathed this from the moment we could breathe.
It was never really a decision to like. This was just it, you know what I mean? It wasn't like one thing or the other. It was always just music, you know. So,
yeah, so I mean, like with that, I think it's just, you know, we always set out to be the best possible live band like we can be, and as much as we love being in the studio, this is where we belong. I mean, this is where it happens. That's all that is just prep for coming and bringing it to people in their town, in their city, in their country, whatever it is. So, it's kind of that. I guess that shared experience like rock and roll kind of should be.